Blimey, hello. God, I wasn't checking the time. I'm about 30 seconds late. Sorry, guys. I was a bit rushing around like a mad fool. We've just not long since got home from town where we had to do some shoppings. There you go. That's what happens. You've got to do shoppings, get supplies in for the man cave. Look, that's me bleeping. Went into the works and picked up some bits and pieces that we're going to need. They're going to use. Right, where should we start? Well, this is how far we got so far. We got the frame down. We'd obviously built the vehicles that we're going to use. We got the framework down. We got the bankings in, and all I've done is painted it brown. So what we're going to do today? I don't know. I do know. We're going to carry on working on that. We'll get rid of these now. We don't need these for a minute. I'll put that one up there. Put these to one side. And then we'll have a quick look. See who's in the chat. So who have we got? Dad's in. Mike Moan. Scaly Models. Oh, sorry, Scaly Models. I keep pronouncing it right, Dad, and then wrong and right. It's Scaly Models is in. Jeff's in. Candy Van from Mungo over in America. So good. What are we on in America? Must be good morning, Jeff. I think. I'm not sure. Good morning. I'm going for good morning. And then Scott's in up in Orkney, and nobody knows what time it is in Orkney because it's like there's no difference now between day and night. So it's some time of day in Orkney. And that's it for the moment. Just three of the lads in at the moment, but you know it gets archived on YouTube, so it's all right. So anyway, what sort of day have you had? I haven't stopped. I have not stopped today. It's been mad rush from getting up this morning to sitting down 5 minutes before this started and trying to get organised. It's just been carnage, chaos and carnage this morning. But there you go. So who's been up to what? What have you been up to, Dad? You been to Eileen's yet, or are you? Oh, you're just off. Dad's just off to go and see Eileen. So behave yourself. Scott could have been up to anything. And Lewis is in. Lewis has turned up. Oh, Lewis, how's life on the road, mate? You all right? Could be anywhere. Lewis could be anywhere. And he's trucking, tramping around. He's having a quick little conversation with Jeff over there. Can he go from Mongo or in America? Did I say that right, Jeff? America. I don't know. I've been watching Neil deGrasse Tyson say that's how he says it. America. I don't know. They're having a conversation between themselves here. And Scott's going to type in a minute what he's been up to. Oh, Lewis, all good. He's off down to Portsmouth this week. You'll have to nip into Morrison's, mate. We'll have a brew. We got at the side of our Morrison's, where it comes out of you come out of the harbour, there's actually lorry parking down the side of the road, mate, down the side of the shop. So if you can get a spot, mate, nip in and we'll have a brew. Scott's trying to get some filming done for the Junk Works channel, where Scott teaches all out of weather. If you're watching this over in YouTube later on, go and look at the Junk Works, which is Scott's page, Scott's YouTube channel up in the Orkneys. And Scott is the master of weathering. Honestly, he puts us all to shame. So go and check out Scott and the Junk Works. Give me the old like and subscribe a bit. And all that. What's going on in chat now? What? Lewis is trying to convince Jeff that he's always good. Yeah, whatever, mate. I don't think Nat'd agree with that. There you go. Oh, right then. Should we get on with this then? What we're going to do, we're going to get some colours down on it. And then we're going to look at bushes. Okay, so we'll just slap a bit of, we're going to leave majority of this brown. We've got our ditches done. And we've got some stuff stinky stuff. We'll do some water in a minute. We also need to do something with one of these. This is a leaf cutter. These are fantastic bits of kit, and I'll show you the secret to using them in a minute. They're great, good fun. There is one, I have ordered one that's got 4 different leaves, but a lot smaller scale than this one. This one we can get away with because poplar leaves and palm and oak tree leaves are extremely large, so we can get away with using this one. Although it would have been better if I'd had to do the one with the smaller scales on. But it's fine, it'll do us. Don't want to go in the ditch, you're going to get covered in mud and crud and everything anyway. So let's get some green down on this because we're going to be down at drying times and we don't want to be getting covered in green paint. Well, probably going to end up getting covered in green paint. But now remember what I said, guys, as well. Craft paint. This green, good green. For this, it's good green. This green and this green is bad green for this thing. All right, don't use model making paints on your dioramas. Use craft paints. You wouldn't honestly, if you was to try and paint this with Citadel greens or Tamiya greens or Mr. Hobby greens, it'd cost you a fortune. Please don't do it. Don't waste your model making paints on dioramas because craft paints are more than adequate for the job. Right, so let's stick some in there. Close the lid on that, put it out of the way. Put it on the windowsill for now. And then let's get some kitchen roll on the job. And as this bush is a manky old bush, it's been soaking in water, we'll have to use a couple of sheets of this because one sheet is not plenty of this stuff when you're doing this. You need more than one sheet. Oh, right. So we don't got a lot of green, to be honest. Not on. What a bit. We'll stick a bit down the middle. This is going to get all flock and all sorts over it in a bit. It's actually quite it's a bit bright. I'll tone that down as well. We want to try and get a bit of green down the middle because at the end of the day, it's a track that farmers will use to move livestock about, and then the odd vehicle will go up and down it, so you get the strip in the middle and you get the tyres either side. I'll stick a bit on the edge of the banking, not too much. We want to leave a bit of brown, a bit of soil showing, a bit of mud showing, and this is going to get flopped over, so it's not. We don't want to cover everything. We'll leave a bit of brown showing. Just slap it on, as Ted would say. A bit in between there, a bit there. Someone here. Round the back. What is your cap, Dad? Round the back. Someone there. Using the right size brush, it's quite a quick job. Oh, that's dark enough now. It's right. Well, that's drying. It's getting quite dark. It was a bit. Ooh, at first when I put it on, I thought, oh, that's a bit bright. All right. Let's get around the back of this corner here. Just paint the back of this. Slap it on a bit. Yeah, don't go cuddling stuff. Dad, you're not allowed to cuddle. Dad, Mike Mountain finally has got to go into the care home. He's been allowed in to see his wife after 14 weeks. And, which is lovely. So I just hope he behaves himself. He won't, you know. I mean, Mike will probably end up getting banned by the nurses. That's it. They're not coming back in again. Give you an inch and you take a mile. That's what I would say. Scally back. Terrible. Shocking. Right, so that's a bit of green on there. And that, to be honest, that'll do us. We don't want to go mad. It's just basically getting a bit of undercover down, and then once we flock it, you won't see it anyway. But if we did occasionally, if a bit of flock goes awry, it's just the green underneath it or the brown underneath, which is what we want. Right, so we'll stick that in the water for a minute. Stick that somewhere. Oh, I don't know, run that space here. See you there, that'll do. Right. I really want to leave that dry a little bit. But there are things we can be getting on with in the meantime. Yeah, Scott's telling you as well, Dad. Yeah, that's an order. Right, what we want is a bit of paper. That's what we want. We want a little bit of paper. Not a huge amount. What's that? No, that's not. No, I don't know, it might do. No, that won't do. No, that'll do. The instructions for an old kit that I've finished. So we'll just get a bit of paper. Let's put this to one side for a minute. And this is the Land Rover that I've been doing. That's supposed to be not a nice kit, but it was all right. It wasn't that bad. I've built worse. It's not a fantastic kit, I must admit, but it's all right. It's a very old mould. It's typical. It's a 1970s, 1980s mould, and it's showing its age, but it was all right. It was okay. Right, so actually we'll use that because we don't want to get green paint everywhere. Oh, could have done that before I wash that. Gonna wash that again. Right, what we want is a bit of paper. Any old paper will do. We're going to paint it anyway. And then when I get a green and a brown paint, more of a brown, use more brown than green. Mix them up and put that in the bin. Let's get that green again. Paint a bit of paper. I'll paint about half of it. Turn it over and do the same half on the other side. Right. We might have to give it a couple of coats because it's showing through. Right. That on one side. And then get some brown. Is that still on like that brown? I'll put a little bit more in. And we get some brown. Switch it in there. And then paint the other half of the paper, but go over the two between them, you know. A bit of a like you as kids, like a mess. Lovely. We loves a good mess. Now what we want to do is we want to leave that for 10 minutes or so to dry. It will dry pretty quick. This stuff does dry really well. So we'll stick that on them bottles of paint there to dry. With that, we don't need that for now. Right then, that's that bit done. We're on to drying times. So let's talk about bushes, because the next thing I'm going to do is bushes and hedges. Now there are lots and lots of different ways, believe it or not, of making a hedge or a bush. Now, my favourite method is to use this stuff. This stuff is lichen or lichen, and it's basically, that's a ready-made bush at the end of the day. Whichever you put it, that there, it's a ready-made hedge. And all you could do, all you need to do with that is just glue it down. You could give it some height. Right? What I tend to do is pull the end off, because at the end you've got a really nice rounded clump, and that does make an individual, lovely little individual bush. And this stuff is dirt cheap, £3 or £4 for a big packet at your local model shop. You pick it up for, and we could just use that. We could just stick that on top of our earthworks, stick a couple of little trees next to it, C-form trees, boom, job done. There's that way. All right. The other way is to use steel wool. Steel wool is great. Let me show you. Let's move that out of the way. Here's one I sprayed about 10 minutes ago before I came on air. It's a bit of steel wool, and all I've done is teased it all apart, hit it with the airbrush, and then what you do is make a little cylinder out of it, like that. And then if you sprayed that, which we'll do in a bit, we'll spray it with spray glue, glue out of a tin glue, and cover it in flock, sprinkle it with flock. That too makes a fantastic bush. And that's what we're going to do. We can't do it yet until that dries. So what else can we do? Let's see, have a look at chat. I suppose I'll have a look at chat. Why is the Benny Hill music playing in the background? Obviously there will be, because Lewis is involved. It won't surprise me if it's not Benny Hill. He's being chased around by 5 or 6 birds in bikinis. Lewis, I can't. I know the Benny Hill theme, but I can't sing it here, can I? Because we'll get copyright. Lewis wants me to sing the Benny Hill theme, but we can't do it because of copyright. We'll get kicked off the air. I don't know why they've got on to talking about Benny Hill. No, Jeff saying that is clearly not lichen. That's clearly a bag of dried up broccoli. It's not, mate. It's lichen or lichen. And it is, honestly, it's fantastic stuff. I use this all the time. It's one of my favourite crafting materials for doing dioramas. And even the individual miniatures on a base, I'll quite happily use a bit of that. It's good stuff. Really is good stuff. It's one of my favourite things. Another thing you can use, you can, if you can find them. You have to shop around, but you can buy plastic plants. Now, a lot of them are made for, you know, artificial displays in your house, artificial flowers and things like that. They're fine. If you find the right scale, some things look quite nice. Something like this. The problem with this is it's very shiny. It looks tacky and it looks cheap and that because it's shiny. So what you do is you get your airbrush and you paint them. Ooh. You see the difference? Once they're together in a clump like that, and there's 4 or 5 of them in a line, that would make a perfectly acceptable bush or hedge. So we're going to use that as well. But the secret of that is just hit it with your airbrush and mat it down. It's just too shiny and too tacky looking, if you get what I mean. What's in? Kevin Stephen. Hello, Kevin. Afternoon. That's a new name. Thanks for nipping in, mate. We're just chewing the breeze for a little bit. I'm waiting for drying time. It's a bit silly, really. I usually do things in fine old Blue Peter tradition. And do things in, and so here's one I prepared earlier, but it's I can't really do it on this at the moment. You'll get used to it. You'll get used to it. You'll see what I do if you hang around for the next few weeks and that. You'll see how I like to prepare things in advance, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. Oh, right then. So let's have a look. It looks terrible at the moment, doesn't it? It looks absolutely horrible at the moment. Right, so let's work out where we're going to put our things. So what we'll do, tease this out a bit more together, and I reckon we'll hit that with the airbrush later and make that darker. And then if we underpin some of it, this is just roughly laying out what we can do to make it. Now to make that so, oh, actually I quite like that. Give it a bit more height on there. And under here. Now once that's been that's the structure that I want. Once we get that glued up now and we start adding flock to that, it will all blend together. Let's think about our little plastic things. We'll stick one in there. We'll go down that like that. That's broken that up a bit more. There's another spiky thing somewhere. There it is. Let's put that in there. Right, so just by combining 3 or 4, it's already broken up. Right, and if we get right, so put that spray glue. Give it a rattle. We'll stick a box behind it. We don't want this to spray everywhere. No, wrong flock. No, that's the top flock. We'll use that for highlighting. That's better. Right then. Oh, that's not good. Not coming out how it used to. Coming out of the horrible blobby bit. Right. What I want to do now is tip that over now because we want. I'll start flocking this now. And then what we want to do, give it a tap. We just sprinkle a tiny bit of this on there. And I'll just give it some variation in. It's such a quick way of doing it, this. And then tap it off into the box. I'll rescue that later. And there you go. How quickly that's blended all that together into one bush. But it's still got the different textures. So what we're going to do now. Now stunk the place out with. Yeah. If you can do it outside, obviously do it outside because this stuff is pretty stinky. But it's so simple to do. Right. So what we're going to do about the ground. And this, the fact this looks absolutely terrible. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to, first of all, we're going to deal with our ditches, our draining ditch. Well, irrigation. It's not the irrigation, is it? It's just rain drainage ditches, really. So how are we going to do that? We're going to make it look pretty pants and muddy and horrible. So we're going to use this again, our 2-point stinky epoxy. We're going to use some brown paint to make it brown, but we want to add something to it. We don't just want it to be just dirty water. This is where this thing comes in. So we painted it half it green, half it brown. It's not dry enough yet, really, but this isn't a display piece. This is just a showing you piece. So just knock a couple of leaves out. Just knock a few leaves out, stick them in there. They don't have to be perfect, they just only give it some added interest. At the end of the day, it's a ditch and a side of a path. It's going to be covered in leaves and mould and muck and slime, and you don't want to stand in it even with your wellies on. That's my theory behind it anyway. Oh, no, just jam that up now. It's too damp yet. No, then when you get the gist of it, come out. Oh, there we go. That's it. That's got it. Right. So I've got a few leaves, and all we're going to do is I'm going to drop them in the ditch. Just randomly drop a few in there. And then we want this to look muddy, muddy, muddy. So what we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves a disposable plastic beaker. One like that, just a disposable plastic. Half pint tumblers from the pound shops. And then cut it down a little bit because we don't need it that high. Just pour it out. Right, so we'll stick that in the bin. Do our usual, take this bit out. And we want this to look quite muddy, really. Quite muddy. So I think that's got it. Snap that off. Right then. So I want some of our brown paint. Now it's not like we were doing the waterfalls where we just want to tint the water. We want to actually make this look like slimy mud. We'll put a fair old whack in this time. And a stirring stick. I've got to get some more of these. I'll have to buy some more in a couple of weeks' time. Right, let's get that in there. That was this stuff, not me, by the way. Unless Mike snuck in there and Dad snuck in. Oh, I doubt it. Too busy on Eileen's. Right then. And then literally give it a good old stir. Ooh, this stuff stinks. Stinky stuff. Right, now we want it. We don't want it too thick. We don't want to go pouring mad. Down that one. Edge of that one. And the edge of it. And then we might want to put some down the centre of the track with them. Because it will be muddy down this bit, won't it? And the beauty of this stuff is it's pretty self-leveling. Move it out. No, I'm going to throw that away. Level this bit out a bit. Up it along. Oh, got a flying thing in here. Quite warm today. I've got my windows open. The only problem is insects coming, don't they? No mind. Not a bitey one. That's all right. I'm going to eat my face off. Just spread the mud around. Bits and pieces all over the place. Like we said, if we look online at the history of D-Day and the weeks leading up to and leading up, after D-Day, the weather was pretty manky, very wet and windy and stormy and all for weeks. So it would be, if this is D-Day plus a week, it would be quite muddy and horrible and grotty. And so we need to leave that to dry as well now. And luckily that stuff takes about 10 minutes. That's all. Oh, what's the matter now? What's going on? Let's have a look at chat. Oh, Shane's in. Afternoon, Shane. Only got man out, Mike. Oh, Shane. Forgot his PE kit again. He's got a note from his mum being late, but he forgot his PE kit again. That'll sort him out. It's fine. So Dad's gone to see Eileen. He's obviously there on his phone because Eileen's asleep. That's absolutely typical, Dad. 14 weeks you haven't spent time with your wife, and then when you get to see her in the care home, she's asleep. That's your look, that is, mate. And Colourman's in. Good afternoon, Colourman. Nice to see you nipping in. You haven't missed a right lot. We're just doing the usual. We're doing some of that. We're just doing a bit of trees, a bit of foliage, and a bit of stick some on that side. I'll work on the other side off camera later on. We're just waiting for basically waiting for stuff to dry. Oh, don't snap. Oh, yeah, right back. Oh, yeah, right back. Push that down there. I'm just messing now. I'm just sticking some. Then we get some more liking around that. I'll come to the shop and get some more tomorrow. I'm actually running out. Would you believe it? I'm running out. It's me running out. Basing materials. It's unusual. Has that gone yet? Has it gone yet? Not quite. Another couple of minutes and that'll be spot on. We can carry on working then. It will be spot on in another couple of minutes. We'll get some ground cover down and green on that, and it really will then start to pop to life. Then you think, oh, now it's looking nice. Now it's looking right. At the moment, it doesn't look all that, but it will. It will. Oh, Lynn's nipped in and nipped out. What's the matter, Lynn? You're just in time to say bye all. Oh, you have to work. Lynn's off to work, obviously. And she's still trying to catch up on Lewis Modemaker's truckers Lancaster build. Give me Joe, he's a brave lad for doing that. It's a very expensive large kit, and to do it as one of your first YouTube builds, that's brave going. That brave going. Well done, Lewis. Right then. Is that nearly dry yet, is it? Oh, it's getting there. Ooh, ooh. It's definitely getting there. Give it another couple of seconds. Yeah. Lewis is saying some so brave, Dave. I say stupid. There is always that, mate. There is always that. I didn't want to say that because, you know, too nice a guy, but I think a lot of people were thinking that. But never mind. Never mind. You've started it now. You've got to finish now, mate. My next one is one that terrifies me a little bit. In fact, I think for those of you that you know, new to the game, do something that scares you because it forces you. It forces you to slow down. I think I don't know why I just seem to concentrate more when it's something that quite frankly terrifies me. And my next thing I'm going to be building is something I bought for my son Thomas, who's a huge fan, and I bought this, and this is going to be my next build. It's the Ayashima Airwolf. There's my light catching it, but that's my next build, and that's one that's actually quite scaring me to do. The one that's really terrifying me is one I've got in my stash that my wife bought me for Christmas, and I'm going to try. If you look at old videos of mine, there was one where I did a Volkswagen Beetle, and I used nail polish, the chameleon type, not nail polish, but nail powder. So what you do is you paint nail polish on or acrylic paint, and then you put this stuff on, and it's like chameleon stuff. It changes colour. It depends how you look at it. So I'm going to do it, but not at the moment. This is what I'm planning to do on this, which is Alariel, the Ever Queen from Games Workshop. So that's going to be quite a challenge. I don't want to mess that up because my wife bought me that for Christmas. Yes, Spinny, Spid's in. Yeah, you had that Airwolf, mate, and you sold it because you're a silly person, Spid. You're a very silly person for selling it because that is a cracking kit. That's the one. It's got the you can do it either as Airwolf with the the solid body or you can do it with the clear body so you can see inside it, which is a bit weird because you can't. They don't provide the engine or anything. It's just virtually inside the cab. I don't get it. I don't get why they've done that. But there you go. It's Japanese. You don't have to explain. There's somebody's idea of doing it. I don't know. It's beyond me. I don't get it. Right, is that ready? Is that? I don't know. Is that close enough? Do you reckon? Yeah, Lewis can remember watching it on TV. We bought Thomas. Thomas saw it on and loved it, so we bought in the box set. And where he has ADHD and dyspraxia and autism, the autistic kids focus on something and they will focus on it, and that's you ain't bending them until they find something else that fascinates them. And we ended up buying 3 box sets of Airwolf because he literally wore them out. It was constant. It was constant. It was on all the time. Used to drive us up the wall, but there you go. Then it went to space, and now it's skyscrapers. Bizarrely, tallest buildings. It's something with autistic kids. If it's something that's big or something that's like they're into it and they just 100% focus. But that's the way it is. Anyway, right. So that's dry now. That's dry enough. Ish. Right. So our next stage, what we're going to do now, I'm just going to start flocking this. We'll just flock it. So what I need is we need that brush again. We need PVA glue. We need our PVA. We need that. Give us a brush. We'll use it. We need a big brush. This is only a cheapy one from the works anyway. So, squeeze myself with dirty water. That, and we'll cheat a little bit. We'll not push for time, but we'll cheat a little bit. I'll actually put the PVA on the dial. I know it's cheating. Kids, don't this at home. And then we'll just whack it about, move it around. You see, you're thinking, what a mess. It is at the moment. It is a mess at the moment. But it will all, once we do this next bit, you watch, it will all tie together. You think, oh wow. Out there. Now what we want is we want to get some on these bits. Some on these bits. And some on these bits. I'm just going to use the dial as a palette. Pivot A in. We're just going to do a TED. We're just going to slap it on. So it's easy. This diorama stuff's easy. Just be a big kid and just make a mess and splatter it all over. It's great fun. A bit more down there. Right then. Put that in there. Lower books again. Sit it on it. Give that a look. Now I was going to wait and do this because it's payday tomorrow, and on in my basket I've got a new end cap nozzle and needle for my airbrush, and a new static glass applicator. So I should be paying for that tomorrow. But yeah, let's just get our grass, our lumps, our bumps, and we do just sprinkle it all over. The beauty of this stuff is you pour it in here. And then just dip it off in the box. Get around the back edge now. Now what I want to do, see how that's totally changed that now. Let's get that back in there. And then what we do is you want to get a dry brush, a nice clean dry brush, and then just brush it off where we've got the muddy water. Keep it off that bit. And leave our ditch intact. It's not so bad actually. It's not too bad. Let's see what it looks like with the vehicles on it. And then that'll give us a better idea of have we cracked it or not. Does it look like bocage? Move that back a little bit. Oh, there you go. One quad gun tractor and Bren gun carrier, or universal carrier, sorry. 2 or 3 days after D-Day, and I think we should call that one. Let's stand him up there. I think we could quite happily call that one Who Gave Rupert the Map. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad, was it? For a quick little dial. I'll tidy it up a little bit and I'll clean all this bit off. Get the frame exposed again. I'll take some pictures of it and put it in there. Put it in there. Now then, look at the subject, talking about Ruperts and squaddies, and I had I messaged. We know we do the radio times. We do the model making times. Models for Heroes are doing a national version of that. I suppose our one that we do is like the local one, where it's just like, there you go, Rupert, the map. There you go, Jeff. So Models for Heroes have done one where they've done a full listing of people that are streaming throughout lockdown and everything that's going on. And I reached out to them and said, I do a stream on a Thursday. And then they messaged me back. Lovely bloke called Malcolm. I was in conversation with him on Messenger for a day the other day. And absolutely wonderful bloke. And he's included me in the list of, YouTubers that are doing something on a weekly basis, so people can nip in and watch, and and to me, it's a privilege to be able to do it, to be able to say, Models for Heroes, guys, and do a little bit, give a little bit back. These people, they're not all soldiers and servicemen. They're not all, sailors and airmen and soldiers. It's the ambulance drivers, firemen, policemen as well. It's emergency services as well. Anybody that's been involved in traumatic experiences, really. And they're a fantastic charity. They do a load of rehabilitation for ex-servicemen and ex-policemen and that, or people injured in the line of duty. And nobody asked them to. At the end of the day, a lot of us, I'm Scott there in Orkney, I am, Daddies, we're all ex-servicemen. And these people they volunteered, they chose to do it. Yeah, you know what I mean? They chose to give everything for us at the end of the day. So I think it's a fantastic charity, and it gives us a chance to do a little bit of something for them. Now, whether it's going in your stash and looking at kits that you've got, I think, you know what? I'll send that to Models for Heroes, which is a great thing to do. But other than that, it's other things like when you go in your model shop and you're buying your glues and your paints and that, just buy an extra bottle of extra thin. Just buy another bottle. Buy a couple of paints, stick them in a box, and at the end of this video, when I can actually get to it, usually takes about 12 or 13 hours for me to be able to watch this video back and then add comments to it later on. What I'll do is I'll put a link in for Models for Heroes at the end of this, and think about it. Buy a pot of extra pot of extra thing next time you're in the shop, and a couple of paints, a couple of Tamiya paints, an X7 and an X whatever, an X1, an X2, XF1, whatever. Buy a couple of pots of paint, buy some Tamiya extra thin or some Mavella contactor, and the address will be underneath my videos from now on for Models for Heroes, and just stick it in a box and post it to them. You don't even have to put a letter with it, just send them somewhere. Every little bit will help. If you don't want to do that, have a look. There'll be a donation button on their website. I'll put on the main website for you to look at and make your own minds up, lads. You know what I mean? But to me, I think it's a fantastic charity, and I'm going to back him 100%. I'm going to be behind him 100%. You probably over the next however long I do these YouTube channel for, you'll probably get sick of me badgering you for Models for Heroes. But at the end of the day, it's something that's close to all our hearts. Let's get behind it. I'm pretty sure, Jeff, you're in the States and Lynn's in the States. I'm pretty sure there's a Veterans Association that are doing a similar sort of thing. You might want to have a look online, mate, see if there's anything going on. All right, in the States, and maybe for your lads and lasses that have given everything, just give a little bit back, lads. All right. So that's me begging for Models for Heroes, but I don't care. I'll beg again. So just think about it. Anyway, that's that done. That's that diorama done. What was I on with next? What was I on with? Did you see the Land Rover? Oh my goodness me. Dad and Scott. Paul Stewart. Paul Stewart sent me the kit originally. He's a It's a nightmare. He did it as a wind up. Paul's a fantastic friend, he's a great guy, absolutely brilliant. But for a wind up, he'll do anything. And he bought me this kit because he built it himself, and it is. It's not the best kit in the world, I must admit. It's not the worst kit in the world, but it wasn't the best kit in the world. This Mark III Land Rover. But he also sent me some animals to me, a livestock set for something. So right, I'll combine them. So I did that. That is the Land Rover that's been failed its MOT, dumped in the corner of his farm, and the chickens have decided to move into it, and the pigeons are using it. And then Dad sent me some telegraph poles because he's like that. Oh, it's been a nightmare. The pigs and the mud and the scratch built. But it doesn't have to be a military model to make a model, guys. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a shiny car. Use your imagination. You'll be surprised. That just came from bits and pieces that people had sent me as a wind up. And I'm quite pleased with that. I think that's coming out all right. It's still a bit of work to do on it. I've still got to get some easy line for the telegraph wires. But that was more fun than building a serious model. That was real good. Just let yourself go, have a bit of fun. I haven't done the flocking on this yet because I'm gonna wait for the static grass applicator. I need static grass on it. Everything on here I haven't got. I never bought. I never bought a single. I bought the picture frame, and obviously I bought the paints and that. But the animals and the Land Rover from Paul Stewart, the pigeons were from Scott and Kenneth and Dad. The tree stumps were the tree stump there in the corner. There's one here as well. Kenneth made them. The plaster of Paris ones. Kenneth's got molds and made them. But have a bit of fun. Think out of the box and come up with a model. Get one of your model kits and think out of a box and think, what can I do with this? I know. I'll change that into a chicken coop, which is what I did with that. You know what I mean? Or think of something, you know, abandoned tank or something that's been, you know, something's made a home in. Anything. Just use your imagination. Let yourself go. Let your imagination run wild, and you'd be surprised at what you can come up with. Good fun. I've been, you know, I really have enjoyed every minute of that, apart from the pigeons. Painting pigeons, you know, and painting pigeon poo. That was the worst bit. Was actually I believe it or not, I spent half an afternoon researching what pigeon poo looked like. Just don't even ask why. It was. I'm not Scott. I'm fine. Lewis, I'm fine. Everybody, I am fine for pigeons. I've still got 2 unopened boxes of pigeons, so I'm good for now. I've still got to put the chickens on that. I've got little baby chickens. Actually, little chicks, and I've got 2 chickens. There's another chicken somewhere around here. There he is, and a goose to put on there yet. But I'm waiting to get my static grass applicator, and I'll finish that one off. I'll add some more bits and pieces to this, probably some more bushes here and there, and I'll take a few pictures and I'll stick them up on in the boom hut and places like that. But that was good fun as well. It was all right. It was fun. That was fun to do. Oh, well then. Have I got a money saving tip? I don't know. Have I? I think I have. And it's a really simple one. It's a really simple one. Glues. Craft working glues. Don't go buying expensive. You go into like and buy PVA woodworking glue. Don't do it. You spend a fortune on woodworking PVA glue. You went to the B&Q or something like that, Homebase or something. You pay 4 or 5 quid for a pot that's this big. Don't do it. Get yourself to the pound shops and get yourself to craft shops. This is tacky glue. Do you know how much this stuff costs if you was to buy it from like, oh, just Don't even go there. Just go to that was from the works. £2, tacky glue. This stuff is amazing. It's like PVA, but a lot thicker. If the other thing as well is I noticed today, the craft place, they're calling it, the range is called the craft place, the works. They're now doing a clear PVA. So I'm going to get that. I'm going to give that a go. All right. But please don't go wasting money on very, very expensive wood glue. It's all the same stuff. Don't get the kids glue. Don't go into the kids section and buy the kids craft glue, because it's not. But go into the pound shops and go into the DIY section, and this stuff is. It's exactly the same for £1 a pot, whereas you pay £3 or £4 for woodworking glue. All right. No, Lewis, I'm fine, thank you. Lewis, no. No, honestly, guys, I am fine for pigeons. I'm running out of chickens and pigs and goats and hamsters, but I'm fine for pigeons. Right then, I think that's it, guys. Honestly, I'm out. It's actually so hot in here. I don't know what it's like where you are, but it's very warm in the south of England today. It's extremely hot, and it's about a bazillion degrees in here, and I'm starting to melt. So I'm going to go into some nice drink. I might even go and have a lie down in the dark room. And next week, I don't know. I haven't got a clue what we're going to be doing next week. So stay tuned and find out what the heck is the crazy fool going to be doing next week. It could be anything. Literally, it could be anything. Oh, should we do? I know what we'll do. Oh, I forgot. Look at that. Radio, the model making times. Now, please go across to Models for Heroes. All right. And they've actually got a full listing of shows even I've never heard of model makers that have all been approved. So get yourself over to Models for Heroes. Click the little donate button or send them something, and then have a look. They've got a full list of, honestly, some amazing shows on there. But locally, our local area, that's national TV, national YouTubing. Local YouTubing on this evening is Christopher, and I think it's an evening with everybody this evening. I'm pretty sure it is. That's at 8 p.m. Tomorrow, Friday, it's payday. Yes, payday. It's KFC day. Every payday, I have KFC on a pay. It's once a month. It's my little treat. We have KFC. I'm saying a little treat. It's a huge treat, because when you've got 9 people to feed, yeah, you work out the price of KFC for 9 people. We're talking 80 quid, 70 or 80 quid. So it's only a once a month treat for us. But it's my payday treat. So I shall be filling my face with KFC tomorrow. And then I shall be, well, Fox is on doing his Fallout Friday. He may be doing Fallout Friday. We don't know. He's Nashers. Maybe playing him up still, but we don't know. But I shall then have my KFC, and then followed by that at 8 p.m. is Natalie with her Dexterous Crafter, and I shall be watching that, feeling like I've had a food baby. And then Saturday is Fox at 3 o'clock with Sky on Saturday. That's if he's Nasher still ain't playing up. And then Saturday evening at 8 o'clock is the Creche with James and Carl and Chris and Steve and Lewis. As long as Chris is still alive and the spider bite hasn't made his arm fall off. That was horrific. Have we heard how Chris is at the moment? Anybody know how Chris is with his spider bite? I'll have to message him later, see how he is. And then that's Saturday. Sunday, we've got Skiffy's back on again. James is back on Sunday morning with the model officer's mess. And then immediately followed by Colin and Dave. I believe Colin's home. He hasn't been very well. He was in hospital the other day having checks and things, but I believe he's home now. So hopefully, Colin, are you feeling better, fella? And lots better. All right. And we'll hopefully see you on Sunday for the Sunday brunch. And then straight after that, 3 o'clock is hopefully Fox, you know. But it's his Nashers. We don't know. It's Fox and his Nashers at 3 o'clock doing Warhammer Sunday. And then Dad's on at 6:15. Scaly models, sorry, with the between shows. Shows you between shows, whatever it's called. And then Christopher's on at 8 o'clock on Sunday night. Now I know it's Christopher's turn because it was Ted's turn last Sunday. And then Monday at 3 o'clock, it's Lewis on his model making tucker with his Lancaster build. I don't know how far he's got. How far have you got with that, Lewis? You still there? Or are you on the road? I don't know. He might be on the road now. He might have had his 45-minute tackle break and he's probably driving down the M1 somewhere, trucking away. So that's Lewis with his Lancaster build at 3. E-models on Monday night at 9 p.m, the normal time. And then on Tuesday, it's Phil Prime with Prime Time at 8 o'clock with 2 idiots that just join in and help him out. No, oh no, Lewis, you're not doing this week, are you not? No, he's not. Tomorrow, yes, and tomorrow, forgot about that. Well mentioned, Lewis. Tomorrow, Nat is cutting Lewis's hair and raising money for Models for Heroes. He's raised so far, he's raised £102. So well done, mate. Cracking, bud. Well done. We like that. So nip across to that, watch that, and stick some money in for Nat to chop his hair. In fact, what you want to do is you want the kids to do it. You don't want Nat to do it. Nat will make a nice job of it. You want the kids to do it. That's what you need. That's what's needed. We don't like happy endings. We like unhappy endings with lots of violence. So let the kids do it. So that's it. That's our YouTube drinks for the next week. So hopefully you'll nip in and do that. You'll nip in tomorrow and watch. He trusts the kids more than actually, yeah. I think you're probably right. And Lewis trusts the kids more than Natalie. But there you go. Anyway, so nip in, go and do that tomorrow. Go and support Lewis having his head chopped off, his hair chopped off, his ears lowered, and raise some money for Models for Heroes. So once again, guys, thanks all for turning up again. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you next week where I haven't got a clue what we're going to be doing. No doubt I'll think of something. It may even be interesting. It may even be educational. I doubt it, but at least it might be interesting. So thanks again, guys, and we'll see you next week. Don't forget, Models for Heroes.